If you clicked this video, you probably played, or at least heard about the game Snakes and Ladders. If you didn't know this game, I will explain to you how the game works. To play the game, you first click the subscribe button after my channel name below this video, then press the thumbs up icon.
Wait a minute!
I am just messing with you. You can still like and subscribe though. Snake and Ladder is a game where the players race up to 100 squares by rolling a dice. Each player will be given the chance to roll the dice every round. The first player to reach the 100 square win. If the player moves to a snake head square, they will get punished and forced to move to the square where the snake tail is located. The opposite with the ladder. If the player moves to the bottom of the ladder square, they are forced to move upward where the ladder ends. I used to play this game a lot when I was a kid. It's definitely fun, but aside from some playful trash talk about another player's role, there isn't much real interaction between players. So I thought, what if there is? In multiplayer games, the most fun usually comes from messing with each other. That's why I decided to recreate Snakes and Ladders and add new ways for players to interact. Will it turn out to be a good game? Honestly, I have no idea. But there's only one way to find out. Just make it. This will also be a test of how much I've learned while creating my first game. It's a pretty simple concept, and someone else might be able to finish it in a week or two. But since I tend to work a bit slower, I'm giving myself a month to build a prototype. My main goal is to make the game playable. So let's do it. Since I still didn't know how to make a multiplayer game, I start by searching on the internet. Then finally, imported netcode for game objects and parallel sync. Netcode is the one that actually syncs what is happening in the game network, while parallel sync is for cloning the project, so we can open two projects to simulate multiplayer. I decided to make the game in 3D, and I used the third-person controller Unity asset. Then I followed a tutorial by Unity on how to set up the player movement that synced to all the players. But they did not show how to make the camera follow the player, so I am stuck with that. It's pouring outside. I decided to focus on making the 100 platforms the players are going to stand on. It needs to spawn on all the players, so it requires multiplayer knowledge, which I lack of a lot. But I still made it somehow. To make the camera follow the right player, I just disable the Cinemachine virtual camera if it is not the local player. I started by changing the snake platform color to red and ladder platform color to blue. Then created the roll script that shows the rolled number on the top of the player's head. Then I made it so when the player rolls, they will get teleported to their target platform. On day 4, I made it so the players took turns rolling the dice. It doesn't seem like a lot to do, but I feel like my head's gonna explode visualizing how this works. I started the day by creating a bunch of doors in the game. I decided to try one of my ideas to add more player interaction. The concept is that the owner of a platform can place something to block others from passing. Kind of like Takeshi's Castle Honeycomb Maze. If a player gets caught, they lose their target platform to the one who caught them. Unity decided to nerf me. I tried and searched, but I can't fix this errors. It's not even on my scripts. And I didn't create a backup. I have no other option but to start over again. Since I am starting a new project again this time, I decided to use the latest version Unity 6 and back it up on Git, so I have an option when something unexpected happens. Then I created the platform again. Set up the packages I will be using. Unity 6 pretty much downloads all the packages needed, depending on the player's preference. It also has a built-in parallel sync, so I just let Unity do all the work for me. Then I created a first-person controller for the game, slowly getting back to before we lost all the progress. I reintroduced the roll turn system for each player. After rolling, a player must walk to their target platform, and only when they arrive does the next player take their turn. On the UI, the top left number shows their current platform, the middle displays their roll result, and below that are their roll state and target platform. I accomplish nothing, because I keep on experimenting on how to use netcode. For some reason, Unity becomes slower. Maybe my computer can't handle it, or maybe because of the multiplayer tool. I use trial and error when I code, so I run the game a lot. Especially now that I do not know what I am doing, and this is slowing my progress more. I added the ladder or bridge in this case. It's just a cube scaled on the z-axis. It adjusted its length base on the platform it was connected to. The red platforms are the ladders and Snake's platform. When the player steps on those platforms, the bridge will appear. Of course, I made it work multiplayer, which consumes most of my day. I learned something new regarding networking, so it is still worth it. My codes are getting messy, especially the network stuff, so I rewrote some of it. Nothing much was changed in the game, but I fixed some bugs and errors. There are still some bugs where the bridge always shows on the client side. I was planning to add a lobby system, but after some research I realized it's a separate tool from netcode. Unity does provide a lobby service, but while it has a free tier, it comes with limits, and I'm not sure how the pricing works beyond that. So for now, I'll skip the lobby and focus on other features. One of the things I added is walls around the platforms, so players can't wander off wherever they want. I also made it so that if a player tries to move when it's not their turn, they'll be teleported back to their current platform. Also, I finally fixed the bridge bug where it doesn't disappear on other clients. I wanted to take a break from coding, so I started creating models for the platform and the bridge. The bridge can extend and contract, but when I change the scale of the object, the material gets stretched. So I created a shader graph, or rather copied from the internet. But the textures don't match on the side of the object. I discovered that the extension of the texture is based on the UV wrap of the model. To fix this, I go to Blender and rotated the UV wrap 180 degrees, and the alignment gets fixed. I also changed the walls to bridge instead. After the player rolls, the platform bridge will appear, allowing them to move to the next platform. Also, when the player falls below -50 on the y-axis, the player will get teleported to their current platform. I have things to do, so I just created the ladder model. I added a sphere. It needs a little bit of power, but it's throwable. I rebuilt the spear since the first version didn't work the way I wanted. In this new version, players have to charge it, similar to drawing a bow, before releasing to throw it. When a player gets hit, they're sent back to their last platform. The spear's purpose is to stop other players from reaching their target platform in time. I'll be adding a timer mechanic to this soon. I added another weapon, the hook, but there is a sudden electric outage because of heavy rain. So I stopped working on the game in a couple of hours. After the rain stopped, I created a model of the hook. It's just a basic one. It's a literal hook. I added a map along with a way to view each individual platform. This will be useful since I want players to be able to place landmines on platforms. To open the map, players press tab. Then they can click the platform they wanted, and they will have a view of that single platform. To return to first-person view, players press F1. I added a hotbar UI with key bindings. Players can press 1, 2, or 3 to select the weapon they want to use. The hotbar also shows how many uses each weapon has, and once those are used up, the weapon can no longer be equipped. I also introduced the landmine feature. It doesn't explode yet, but players can now place landmines on platforms by opening the map, selecting a platform, and placing the landmine with the mouse pointer. I continued working on the landmine by creating its model. I also added a coin system. Players earn coins each time someone finishes their roll. Coins are required to use weapons. The spear costs 2 coins, the hook costs 3, and the landmine costs 4. I changed the sky material and set up a system where players are teleported back to their last rolled platform if the timer reaches 0. I also added a map that shows each player's location. On top of that, I created a ladder model for platforms with ladders and added trees to represent platforms with snakes. I rewrote my scripts because there was too much spaghetti and it was too hard to find meatballs. I tried fixing a bug where players weren't being teleported to their platform after landing on a snake. It worked for the host, but not for other clients. I experimented with different solutions, but couldn't fully resolve it. The issue comes from client-side network delays, and based on my research, it could be fixed by running all movement on the server instead of a custom network transform. But that's a bit too complex for this project. Instead, I added a hook mechanic to the snake platforms that grabs the player and pulls them to the correct platform. I fixed some bugs with the hook platforms, then added visual effects and sound to the landmine while improving how it's placed. Now, when players right-click, the map opens and they can select the platform where they want to put the landmine. After that, they left-click on the ground to place it. I think the landmine is the most useful item in the game and fits the gameplay best, though I'll still keep the spear and hook since some players might prefer them. When a player steps on a landmine, their turn immediately ends and the landmine's platform becomes their new position. I didn't have much time to work on the game today, but I did make a dice PNG in Photopea and updated the dice roll UI. Before, it only showed the rolled number, but now it displays an actual dice image for both the player's roll and the opponent's roll. I wanted to set up a lobby and was about to download the lobby package, only to find out it's been deprecated. There is no way it's been deprecated. Okay, I get it now. Turns out, it means Unity no longer supports it. You can still use it, but it's not recommended. Instead, Unity now uses the Multiplayer Services package, which I had already downloaded. I followed a tutorial and tried adding the individual widgets, but I ran into errors I couldn't fix. So instead of building it piece by piece, I found a sample scene with a complete lobby setup. Ideally, I wanted to make my own, but since I'm aiming to finish this game within a month, I just copied the whole game object into my scene and removed what I didn't need. It works inside Unity, though I haven't tested it on another computer yet. I did get an error session exception. Rate limit has been exceeded, and I'm not sure if it will cause problems down the line. For now, I'll just ignore it and keep moving forward. I finally made a player model and downloaded some animations from Mixamo to import into Unity. I'm still a bit confused about how animations work in Unity, so getting them set up took me the whole day. I was aiming for a rat model, but it ended up looking more like a teddy bear. Still, it looks decent enough, so I'll be keeping it. I was craving spaghetti, so I ended up rewriting my hook and spear scripts since I couldn't even understand my own code anymore. The day ended with not much progress overall. I wanted to let players customize their names, so I searched for a tutorial on Unity Multiplayer Services. Since it's still new, I couldn't find much. I spent hours trying to read the example widget code, but I'm not yet at the level where I can reverse engineer working scripts. So instead, I decided to handle name customization through netcode instead of directly in the lobby. This means players will have a default name in the lobby, but once in-game, their name can be customized. The UI is still messy, but it's working. Players now have their names displayed above their heads. I fixed some bugs and rearranged the UI. The player now first needed to change their name. After that, they can create their own lobby or join one. I added a notification that appears when a player lands on a snake or a ladder. For snakes, a snake icon shows up above the dice. For ladder, a ladder will appear above the dice. I also added walking footstep sounds, and along the way I learned that each object needs its own audio source, so players don't hear sounds from far across the map. I didn't know this before, which is why in my first game you could hear every sound in the world at once. My original plan was to finish this game within a month. The core gameplay is working, but there are still features I could add. Since I need to upload a video, I'll wrap it up here. The goal was just to create a prototype, and I consider it a success. Plus, I learned how to use netcode. While editing the video, I'll probably spot things I want to improve and adjust later. I switched back to teleporting players when they land on a snake platform, since that's working fine now, but the hook platform didn't. Unfortunately, I am one of those people who doesn't have anyone to play with, so I can only test the game within in Unity. It's an unfinished game, so I will just upload it on my Ko-fi page. If you wanted to try the game, you can get the link on the description. Please let me know your thought about this game. Would you play it? Here's a video of me playing with myself. Playing the game on my own. Playing the game both the host and the clients.